Right. But my situation is like that because a very well known and experienced person, he gave such a wonderful guidance. And during my PhD session, my guide, Dr. Kalbande sir and Rathod sir, Rao sir, they played a major role to motivate me and to help me out to come out of that long duration of PhD work. But it was a good experience, and now I'm finding very hesitating, like how I'm going to talk, and I'm trying to collect some of the good examples. And I hope I will try my level best so that this session is going to be good enough. No, not compared to Rathod sir, but I will try my level best. um, so the first right now, sir mentioned about the PhD research work, and it is like what is the meaning of research and all that you are going to have during this 10 years workshop. But what are the things like ethics are there, or how I can publish the content? But most important, like where I will publish my content. So these people are going to help you out to understand what are the ethics to be followed, what things to be considered. But now in today's session, I will try my best to focus on where you can try to publish the paper. That is a open access publishing. And this is one of the restriction, or I can say the solution is given by all the research center, that your paper should get published in good journal. So what do you mean by good journal? And we are having in SPIT, we always suggest student to go for a good H index or good indexing journal. So here we are going to discuss about the open access publishing. So, what is the meaning of open? Like, it is not so that it should be a free journal or it should be immediate journal, because nowadays you may be finding number of mails are coming in your box like within 2 months or 15 days your paper will get published and this is the cost, or this is a free journal, or there are certain articles which is considered as a free. So there you can consider as publishing your work. And most of the journals, no, all the journals are online and they're available 24 by 7. And so is it that that means the open access? Like, no. So they are, you are giving your rights, means when you are publishing your paper on journal, so you are writing some copyright form. So what is written in that copyright form, we hardly go through it. It is like a LIC policy. If you're purchasing any LIC policy and you are signing because your agent is asking you to sign, so we need to go on, we need to read that content as well. So here also, when you are writing the paper, the journals are asking you to give some copyright or not. So what is the meaning of open access? So my understanding for the open access is like the paper or the place where your paper is highly used by other people. Means most of the places where the authors are coming and they are visiting, they are trusting that yeah, this journal paper is having good work. No? And so is it possible that most of the journals are following this consideration? So we are going to look into that. So open access, the terminology open access, because now I got habitual to do the research with this dignitary. So I started doing the chunks of the words and then try to understand. So open means freely available and access freely open, and then access means how I can access that. So when I'm trying to understand open access, it is like free of cost, like copyright or the licensing restriction is not there. It's like when you're googling about your research topic, and you found that there is a link is given and you are trying to click on that link, and it is asking that this is abstract for this research paper, do you want to download this PDF? Then your institution should have this account, or otherwise pay this much amount and be the member, take the membership, and then you can avail. So yeah, this is a sort of literature which is available. So it is free availability on internet, but the same time, the reading, downloading or copying or using that text, this need to be freely available. And how, who will help me out? Like if I'm publishing, I'm taking pain to write my research paper, and I'm making that paper available online. If it is not a famous place, or if it is not a well-known place, nobody will come at that place. And in that case, how my paper will be available for others? So And second thing, as sir correctly mentioned one dialogue, um, if your student or your friends or your students are writing some research paper and they are publishing, and some things are copyrighted or some flag is there, so there may be chances that you may get banned for a certain interval of time. So in that case some legal aspect will be there. So we want such type of things, that there will be no legal activity will be done, it is freely available, and it is a brand. So how it is possible, like which website will take care of all these things? Like they will take ask you to submit the paper, they will do the review process which is free of cost by the reviewer, and then they will publish your paper which is freely downloadable, and still there is no charges. So it is very difficult. So this particular constraint, this is a sort of a constraint only, like who will take care? Yeah, IEEE transactions are there or springers are there, they do allow such type of things. But the problem is like it is a lengthy process or it is a long term process. During my PhD work I observed that when the comments are given by the reviewer and I'm trying to submit the paper to that journal, um, there was another mail in my mailbox from the same journal saying that your paper is not suitable for this journal, but we are giving you advice that please consider this link and check whether your paper is applicable for this another journal or not. And when I start crawling through that link, and I observe that they are asking for a huge amount, and it is like a very good journal, H index is there, or Scopus journals are there. And this is one of the pain point, like if you want a good journal paper, you either need to pay, or you need to wait for a longer period of time. So here I'm going to help you out to understand where you can focus, okay, and so that your paper will be in a good journal, and the how you can open act publishing charges are there, so how you can tackle that things. So as I mentioned right now, for the open access, which is a freely available digital print in from unrestricted distribution of your research paper, so that there your works will be read by some more readers. The indexing of that journal is good, and as a result, I need someone called as a funder or sponsorer. So who can sponsor? I'm an academician, and in that case, who can sponsor me? So the research which you are doing, if it is a building a model, so there may be chances that you have some funding agency, like some industry is there. So that time you can mention, yeah, we have some funder, and then you can go for it. But if you don't have anything, so in that case, how you can tackle? So in this situation, the access is little bit difficult, where you need to pay. There are certain researchers who are ready to pay, but then there is a hesitation. If I'm paying such a good amount, whether this journal is good enough, like for my further notification or not. So research is not just to be available, but it should be notified properly. If I ask you all that which toothpaste you are using, you all must be using different type of toothpaste, but randomly, if I ask anyone, definitely the answer will be Colgate, because we are habitual from childhood that toothpaste stand for Colgate. So this is a sort of branding. So the same way, when I'm saying that my journal paper got selected in a journal, so definitely there will be question: is it a IEEE transaction? So that tagline is there. So if I want to come out of that tagline, I need to search for a good journal where my research will get published with no costing. At the same time, it will have a good identification as well. So that is what the need of open access. So when I'm talking about open access and publishing that, there are lots of journals are available. When you will actually start, means your work is over and you wrote some content with a very good mark. So this is when you are trying to submit, and you just Google that this is my topic and I'm looking for a good journal. A very simple statement in Google, you will find lots of links, like a high quality journals are there, some different discipline, means not your subject area but similar type of discipline, subject area will be given, and then they will ask you ki, yeah, we are open for your publishing. So how they're actually doing, they're asking you to submit your paper, they will check uh, what title your journal is having, is there will be a form. No, those who have already submitted the paper to the journal, they must be aware that paper is different, but that journal will ask you to fill so many questions like what is the objective, which subject area, what are the results are there. Means it is a sort of another content which you are giving, and based on that, the reviewers will be there. So every journals are having their experts or some editorial board, and they are having some rigorous peer review process. So they will not send your paper, but they will send that Google form to the reviewers, and they will ask whether you are really interested to review this paper. And then based on their comment, either you will get a mail that your submission is not matching with our domain, and hence we could not go ahead with your paper, or there will be another mail to you that we observe that your paper is having some good intensity to go ahead, and hence we are forwarding your paper, or the next stage is started, and then there will be review by reviewer 1 and 2. um, there are one more thing. Some journals give you immediate reply, or some journal may take long time. So yeah, but once they are taking the longer time, they are actually digging in your paper whether it is properly formatted, and along with that, whether the content which is written in is proper or not. Okay, so but because of this, when they are highly scrutinizing your research paper, this journal is going to have a high visibility, and hence this high visibility journal will give you high no visibility to number of readers. So like a sort of global marketing, you will this article will reach to number of people. Like it is not so that the marketing of that journal is happening, but the marketing of your work is also happening. When such type of journals are reviewing your paper, they are having their own metrics, like how they will measure your paper. And along with that, when your paper got selected, they will have their own impact factor also, you know. So unrestricted some content which you are trying to publish, and they will try to see like whether this article, when you are trying to access the full access, the retention of full copyright of your articles, they will ask, and hence whatever further work is happening with that need to be taken care. When I submitted my paper to the journal, and it was very difficult. I'm trying to add some my story also over here. So when I submitted my paper to the journal, and the first mail which is said to me that no, your paper is not having that much strength. So sorry, we are not able to continue. So these are the review, and some journal may not send you some review as well. So in that case, the things are again you need to search, and then again you need to submit. But some place they give just now, just how the Rathod sir said that he got 52 pages of review. The same way the review were given to me, and I tried to incorporate the same to the same journal. Again, there was a version 2, and there was a version 3, and then the paper got accepted. It was a free journal, but it took almost 2 years to for the acceptance. But the same time, some nowadays some journals will ask you when you are filling the form to upload your paper only, first stage only, they will ask you, do you have any sponsor? These are the country where the waivers are given. So then you need to list out. So such type of things also need to be considered when you are publishing in the open access. So in short, when you are trying to select your journal, you need to bother about some journal which are really worthwhile to publish. They are having good process of selecting your research paper. They are having high visibility, so that your paper will reach the number of readers. So when I'm talking about open access publishing, and the journals are there, so journals are all totally online concept. Okay, and free journals are some of the tag journals are there, but nowadays there are one growing models are coming up, that is a author pay. Okay, and as I told you right now, that research when you are doing with some sponsorship by some industry, or some organization are sponsoring, so these journals, open access journal, are asking you for one model called as a author pay model. So here you need to specify the predicted funds you are getting for your work, and hence that research funders, that naming need to be added. So this is a model of content that is a free to end users. And here the peer review, normally the traditional journal, it will happen like a normal traditional journal only, but you need to specify from where you are getting the funding. Most of the non-profitable publishers, they don't ask for such type of things, but there are certain commercial publishers are there. They will definitely ask for your funding agencies. Here, I will add one more point. Right now, you are getting some UGC careless journal, and there you will ask, they will ask to pay 2,500, 2,000, 3,000, or certain less amount, and then you prefer that journal for publication. But it is not advisable, because these journals, if you can see, after some interval of years, that journal is no more exist, or that you may lost your good paper. So as a result, it is advisable to search for some good access journals or free journals. And but yeah, one problem is like the payment is very high in this case. Now the question is, when we are looking for the open access, like something is freely available, but they are asking you for the funding also. They are having their good metrics to selection your research work, and hence what will be problematic. Like when I am having some open access, some libraries, those who are storing their hard copy of journals. No, as the online journals are available, this hard copy is not available, or some journal subscription is very costly. So when you are looking for online journals, the subscription itself is a costly. Publisher bundling some journals together. Like if you are accessing this journal, you need to pay extra for the another journal. So as a result, your organization may not afford for that libraries, that such type of journals, and hence it is going to be one of the difficult. Because when you are applying for your journal and they are asking, do you carry the subscription? And if your organization don't have, then again you need to pay high cost. So it is very difficult, like selecting a good journal, and the number of journals are also very vast. For a particular domain also, you will find hundreds of journals are available. So out of that 100, which I can select? So it is like access to anything, like it's very difficult. So in that case, this is one of the problem for libraries. In case of author also, it is a diminishing access to knowledge. Like you are trying to read that paper which is written by a good author, but you will find that it is asking you to pay, or it will force you to take the journal subscription as an author also. And then you will try some Sky Hub or something to download that paper, and the content may not available. So there are certain lack of control, like lack of control stand for some invalid websites are there from where you can download the work. So now the question is like, these are the consequences for the author also. Like my paper is there in the good author, even my paper, when I'm trying to download that paper from the journal, it is saying that you need to have a subscription. So that these are the consequences for the author as well. Now here in this session, I'm going to help you out, or as per my understanding, I have written some process how you can select for open access publishing process. So first, you should create your manuscript. Okay, your research paper should be ready. But my experience was like, when my research paper was ready and I was trying for a journal, it was very difficult to get the journal matching with my subject area. Then I googled about some more journals, because when you crawl some of the journals, no, you will find some journals are given. And in my experience for my research area, I observed that some journals do give their metrics. Like we are expecting these are the things, this topic area, this is the way the content need to be done, this is the role author need to pay, this is the format. Format is everything is common, but some journals do give some guideline also. So either you can create your manuscript, or you can check the website which the journal you are targeting, and how what are their expectation. Accordingly, you can write the manuscript. Follow a more suitable publication for your research, and then you can select like which journal is there. Then you can find some instructions are given, like first, my manuscript is ready and I'm searching for a journal scenario. Second scenario, my journal is available, and as per my journal requirement, I converted my manuscript, and now I'm trying to select that journal and I'm filling that form, and I'm just submitting the content. This is very normal process for the journal. Uh, I'm going to show you some coming slide. What are the different type of open access are there? But this is the normal way you can submit any journal. Some journal do ask you to submit your manuscript using mail, but that is not advisable, because in that case you are not sure that whether the journal exists or not. So it is advisable to go with the proper form filling and writing the answers. Open access is actually beneficial for all the stakeholders, like the author, because they are getting visibility, readers because it is open access so anybody can download, or there is a restriction so subscription is mandatory. Some libraries, if when they avail some journals, so all together the things are there. Funding agencies, how it is going to benefit for the funding agencies, because their name need to be added in the journal, so as a result their visibility is also increased. Some of the government do play a major role in case of open access. Some citizens or even the publisher is also getting nomenclature for the open access. Yeah. As an author, open access provide a worldwide audience. No, it is not so that your paper is good enough if you are having a good citation. Yeah, that is true. But at the same time, when your paper get accepted in a good journal, you get a worldwide audience, and it increase your own work also. And because of that, again, the citation goes on increasing, and most of the funding opportunities are available. And there may be chances that when you are trying for some funding or some international collaboration and you are mentioning that my paper is published in such and such journal, so it is really advantageous as a plus point for your funding also. As a reader also, when you are reading such type of content, like this is a author and this is a journal, so you trust on that work. So that way also you can mention that this is a normally now when I was writing paper I was not understanding that things, but now when I'm finding my students are writing the paper, I will just check what type of references they are considered in their research paper. I will check, okay, this is the paper, open this research paper and let me check what how they have handled this content. So this is also one of the way your visibility is getting increased, and this is a sort of text mining or text processing is happening with your research, and your the authors are getting benefited also. I will go to the most important things that is called as a article processing charges, which I mentioned in the starting also. Open access publication is nothing but article publishing charges are there. So here, why they are charging? Like this is a peer review is happening. So your paper is getting reviewed by some experts in your field. Some objectives are there. Some evaluation ahead of publications are there. Most of the journals don't pay to their reviewers, but still, the process itself is there. So the peer they charge for that. Online discoverability, some index journals or some internationally recognized journals, they have their citation report, or some research scholars are there, so they are 24 by 7 available. So for that purpose also they charge. um, these charges are considering for visibility and impact, so no barrier. Anybody can read site, so it means your research will be open for everyone, and hence to create your paper visible or to give you the impact index, so the charges are there. Rapid online publication and the choice, like some common licensing is there. You can compile with some funders mandated and control how other can use your work. Means when you are in your research paper you are saying that this paper is having some future work, so that future work is also entitled, and hence some odd authors may connect with you. And so this choice is also available, so for that also the charges are available. So benefit, if I'm looking at again, if I want to conclude my session like a open access benefit, so my paper when it is selected and I'm paying some APC, so my visibility is increased, some citation rate is increased. My paper is available worldwide, audience is there, so global impact is there. I'm complying with some funder policies are there, so this is also benefit. Some innovations are driven. I will share one more thing. When I was doing my MTech, and I proposed one idea based on service-oriented architecture. At that time, I was new to the research. So I just published a paper, and it was there in a conference. And then later on, I come to know that based on that, my conference paper, somebody wrote a patent, and they acknowledged me in that patent that the reference was taken from so and so paper which was published in conference. So this may be the disadvantage of your publication. So if you are targeting a good journal and your work is getting published in a good journal, so it is going to drive innovation, but at the same time you will get acknowledged at a very good place. So that is also one of the benefit for your open access, because it is available and it is giving motivation to the others. So now the next question comes, okay, I understood what is the meaning of open access. It is freely available. There are certain charges are there, and these are the benefit for my organization, for authors, for readers, for libraries. But what are the different type of open access are there? So first open access is a green open access. Now I think this slides will help you out. Like when you will search for your journal, you will check whether this is a type of access. I will select this journal, or I will focus such type of journals for publication. Green open access is a self archiving or practice of some. It will serve as a repository, and it will be freely accessible by everyone. It can be deposited into a sort of depository, and yeah, this is depend on some funders or publishers. The copyright of articles are there with the publishers or the society. Like green open access is affiliated with some society, some title is given, so there is a restriction. Yeah, this is the domain of this journal, so you need to restrict with this. And this repository will have some embryo period, openly access in the repository, but for certain period of time. These are the self archiving. It will decide some self archiving policy, such as Shepra or Romeo databases are there. So these are the list of publisher. A list of publishers like a policies can be found. If you search about Shepra or Romeo, you will find it. It will not offer any legal framework for content licensing, but a scientific, it will permit that some means you need to write your copyright form. It means author's contract has to be carefully reviewed, but there is no uniform rules for accessibility, because it is serving as a repository. I may go with my own repository, and I will have certain my own policies, and I will have my own period of time. I may go with some special issues, and this way I can treat that journal is available. And this such type of journals are called as a open green open access. So, if when you are searching for green, you can find Open DOR, such type of repository, the directory of open access repository, which will helpful you to connect. So, this is a ResearchGate is there, or Academia is there, or RZXV. So, these are the different type of journals which are treated as a green. They have their own policies. At the same time, they will have their uh, own repository to upload your content. Second type of open access is a gold open access. No, this is the version of records are there, which is a freely and permanently accessible by everyone. And immediately after publication, it will be available. And the copyright of this article is written by authors, and most of the permissions are removed. Means it is no there is no, hardly restriction on the author for this. It will be published by most of the such type of fully OA journals or hybrid journal. Hybrid journals I will tell you in the coming slides. So this fully open access journals can be found in DOAG, that is a directory of open access journal. And yeah, for golden open access, you need to think for the APC as per your region, as per your subject matter. Some charges will be applicable for you. um, with the help of golden access, why we should opt for golden access? Like your research will be available, so as soon as it got published, anywhere anyone can access. But this open access comply with some funder mandate, like it will ask you to pay, and some copyright for your work for post publication. Means even your publication is over, they may ask you that this copyright will retain whatever content you have written your paper, that will be that keep copyright of your work even post publication also. It will under a license with some few or some restriction, it will ask you to it may reuse your work. Publish under a license with a few or no restriction on how people can reuse your work. So here I will suggest some journal offers some free access to content. This does not means it is open access, but it will ask you to pay certain work, and it will allow to reuse the work as long as the author is acknowledged and cited. So this is also one way. It is simply allowing everyone to to access this journal. So golden access, golden open access is like um, Taylor and Francis is there, or Routledge Open Select is there. These are hybrid open access option, but full open access option is like Taylor Francis or Dove Press or Flu Research. These are the available in market. Um, when we are selecting, when you will apply, submit your paper to any journal, there are certain options will be given on the journal itself, and these are the licensing options. Like when you are submitting your paper, they will ask you, like when you want to go by CC by, okay, that is an attribution. Others can redistribute, means you are allowing that my paper contain, others can redistribute, they can remix, they can retweak, tweak or build upon my work, and even commercially they can, but they need to credit you for your original creation. Okay, most of the F1000 research articles are published by CC by only. Second type of licensing option is like a attribution non-commercial. That is a CC by NC. Like other can remix, tweak, build upon your work, but non-commercially. They can use, but they cannot take the profit out of it. So although their work must acknowledge you, but that work acknowledgement should be used for non-commercial purpose, and they don't have license to their derivatives works on the same term. And the last type of licensing option is a CC, BY, NC, ND. That is an attribution, non-commercial, and non-derivatives. Means other can download your paper, they can share them with others as long as they credit you, but they can't change them in any way, or they cannot allow to use commercially. So you are giving these options, and when you select these options, your charges will differ. This particular licensing options is available with the gold publication. As I mentioned you that I will tell you about the hybrid open access. So this is a hybrid open access where it will allow certain articles as a open access and certain article as a closed access. You know, so here the publishers will have certain models which are partially funded. They may ask you right now to make it available by subscription, and then so only, and then later on for certain authors it will have some publication fee, so funded by some subscription, and only provide open access for those individual articles for which the author pay a publication fee. So hybrid open access cost more than gold open access, because it will offer some low quality of service, and particularly it will have some double dipping option, because where both authors and subscribers are charged. So it is a charge, I need to pay as an author, and my organization need to pay as a subscription. So as a result, this is going to be double dipping. Publisher can move to start offer open access for individual article or payment of a fee. um, Offering this enables them to meet some fundings, like when I'm publishing my paper and my content is available, and in that case there are some organization who are also doing research, they can check my work and they can connect with me, and they can ask my paper content, and as a result I can be on their board and I will get money from this. So this is also one of the way. So anticipated that fees should be made by funder and research grant. So here, this open access will mandate requires to make publication available in an open access manner. So here, when you click this, it will allow you to free, but still some charges will be applicable based on journal to journal. Next type of open access journal is a bronze. Like these are open access article which are free to read, but only on the publisher page, and but it will lack clearly identified license, like whether this content is authorized or something. Such articles are typically not available for reuse, and the content is free to read, download on the publisher's website, but it is not published under any open license that permits sharing or reusing. The publisher is able to withdraw the access at any time, so it is totally in the hand of publisher. So this form of so-called open access is often used to make content free to read for only a brief period. Like, only certain interval of time the papers will be available, and then later it will not be available. So hence, since this is there is no open license, it is a not in fact open access at all. Means it will open, but it will not allow you to use. So totally it is there in a publisher's hand. Next type of open access is a diamond open access. So it refers to scientific articles which is published without charging authors for any APC. Okay, and it may also called as a platinum open access or non-commercial open access or cooperative open access or open access commons. Okay, so immediate open access publications by the journals or book publishers, specifically book publishers, without any payment of a fee. In this case, the copyright is written by author, but the permission bearers to share or use is removed. Means you cannot give that. Open book publishers fits this author retain their copyright, and we recommend to go for the CC BY. As just now I mentioned, it will be used available by the authors, and they can copy, read, share their your work. This is diamond open access is not for profit. This is non-commercial organization where the association or network publish material that is made available online in digital format, and everybody can use that. But diamond open access is highly used in America or Europe. Some restrictive countries will be available. Um, the open access diamond study finds that most of the journals are available at DOAG humanities, and under the heading specific subject area like humanities or social science publications are used for the or diamond open access. And yeah, but this is one of the this is a long term preservation done by the diamond open access. Next type of open access is a black open access. This is academic social network, and they have their tremendous, like a Facebook, LinkedIn. So this ASN, academic social networks, are business ventures where they work for revenue model. They do not charge members to build up a big enough users to. Yeah, this is the growth of unauthorized digital copying by a large scaling copyright infringement has freely access this literature. So Skyhub, this is a black open access. Means just now I mentioned, if you are not able to download any paper on Google, just mention Skyhub. But nowadays you may find that when you are writing the Skyhub, the different indexing like skyhub.com, skyhub.org, skyhub.in, it is because it is a black open. It is not actually need to be, it will give you any type of research paper, whatever it is. Like if you try to normally access that paper, it will be chargeable, but through this it is available. So user has to go to the site, and then you just have to mention the title or the author name or any DOI, and you will find the paper is available for you. So how they are retrieving the paper? So there is a different revenue model for this. Next type of open access is a gratuitous open access. That is it is a free of charge, but some copyright or licensing restriction is there. This open access is free to read, but some reusability. For reusability, you need to again go for some um, copyright form. You need to give in writing, but this is related to some of the countries. The permission for using such type of, there is a certain law is there, like yeah, as a, it will ask you to give in writing that you are using this paper, but it is highly you can say that confidential. The fair use is vague, so there are clear cut content is given, that this is available for such type of domain, some respective content is available, and there only you can use this type of open access. It is considered as a free, but it need to be licensing. Next type of open access is a liber open access. This is a free of charge. Most of the copyright and licensing restriction is there. It is free to read, and some permission barriers are generally removed. There is, when you are downloading or using, there is no issue. Um, user have permission to again reuse or exceed the fair use, and in any way, like if you want to use that paper for the commercial purpose or non-commercial purpose, so there is no problem. There are many degrees or different way the liber OA can be used. Liber OA removes some price barriers, and at least some places some permissions are also work as a barrier that can be removed. So, in short, I got this image from the Google where I was trying to understand with this different type of open access how I can go with it. So, as a researcher, when you decide to publish and you search for some database like where I can get my journal, so you can search in Shepra or Romeo for open access or some repository where the my research topic is available. So you will publish in open access journal or you will publish in subscription based journal. So subscription based, when you search for any open access journal, so it will ask you to pay, and if you are good enough to pay, then your paper is available. So that is a immediate open access via publisher, and that is a gold OA. This way is called as a gold OA route. When you go for the subscription based journals, there are two way. Either you can opt for hybrid journal where some subscription based journal and some open based options are available. So when you're publishing in subscription-based journal, it will search for a repository, like example is opendoor.org, and then you can self archive in the repository based on the policies. And if you are publishing this way, this is a green open access route. This is again immediate, or it may delayed because of the publisher side or your acceptance criteria or based on some reviews. So dependency is there on the publisher policy. If you opt for hybrid journals, again there is a chances that you need to pay some APC, or you can avail that CC, NC, NP, and all, and then the immediate publishing is there. So this is a normal publication. But if you go with the open access, you are indirectly accessing gold open access, and if you are going through repository, you are indirectly accessing some green open access. Now there is a question like if I want to publish a paper, how I can select. So as I told you, I just Googled, and then from that I selected as per my subject area a journal, and then I search what that journal is expecting. Accordingly, I changed my manuscript and then I submitted, and then there was a success story. But what if you want to plan right now? You may be at any phase of your publication, maybe in the starting or final. I suggest you, considering your title, you just target your journal right now. So, this is a website where you can check for your cost of that journal, and you can be prepared either for the free open access or to be ready with paying the APC. So, some of the article publication charges are given on this particular website where you need to give some content. I have added the screenshot of this website. When you go through this link, you will find some journals are given, and it will ask you the category, and then it will ask you whether you want to go for a full open access. When you search in this particular topmost bar, no, you will find the results are given, and then with the help of name, like with the help of name, you can select which journal is there. There are some more filter parameter is there, like if I want to search for the analytical chemistry, so I just gave the analytical chemistry, so it is showing me open select, the gold license option 1, gold license option 2. So for my category and for my charges, it is showing me this is the journal paper, the ISN number, the print online, and then what is the embryo period, and then I can search. Below this, there is a list of journals, and I can opt for that journal, and then I can target my manuscript. As sir gave you some tips, I also found some tips for open access publication, like a think, check, and submit. because this is your work, this is your research work. You have utilized your most of the valuable time to write that journal. So don't just publish the paper to any journal. Think, check whether the journal is a proper journal, whether if you publish that paper for the gold access, black, or the diamond access, any type of way you want to publish that, check whether that journal is worthwhile to go for it or not. And then you submit, and then accordingly there will be certain licensing on you. Check that checklist as well, because there not should not be such cases like the journal is accepting your paper and later on there is a list of things which you need to complete just part of your publication. I'm not talking here about the review which is given by them. So more research, are you submitting your research to a trusted journal? Is it the right journal for your work? And then accordingly you need to consult whether I need to go ahead or not. um, it is actually the challenging to find the guidance to select which journal, because most of us we are targeting IEEE transaction, but really my work is sustainable for publishing an IEEE transaction. If I add here my experience, my research was work was focusing on management plus technology. Means it was working on enterprise architecture. At the same time, it was focusing on AI, and hence my result or my proposed idea showing the combination of these two concepts. When I was submitting my paper to managerial journal, they were giving the review saying that this technology we are not understanding, and hence the reviews were difficult. And when I was submitting that paper to any technology journal, there was a review that we are understanding the technology which you are using, but we are not understanding what are the managerial things you are talking about, whether it is really working or it is really need of world or not. So hence you need to target a journal not just to get it published, but also whether it is going to really give you the notification worldwide letter also. So there are certain questions which I've added here, like do you or your colleague know about that journal? Have you heard about that journal before? Normally, when you get the mail from UGC journal list, so it is very difficult to trust. Means in between, I just checked one link. It was having an image from Scopus. Oh, and then when I click, I check that ISN number on Scopus. There was no such type of journal available. So means it is just a wastage. Like we trust on UGC care list and we submit the paper, it get published, and you add in your thesis that I my paper is published. It is actually not on Scopus. You can cross check your information with the help of ISN. That's what I just now mentioned. You can easily identify and contact the publisher, and there are really good publishers are available. They do immediately respond back to your queries, and that's why they are charging you for the APC, uh, access publication charges. So you can identify and contact the publishers. Is the journal is clear about what type of peer review it is using? You will find that most of the journals are saying blind review, double blind review, but really they are following that process or not? So that also you need to verify. Some of the articles indexed in service that you use need to be verified whether this article is actually published or not. So these are the checklists which you can find. Now, is it clear what fee will be charged? That's what I was trying to mention, that when you select a journal and they accept your paper and then they give you the fee structure, the charges which were shown and the charges which were applicable for you may differ. So actually the journal side explain how what these fees are for and how they will be charged. So everything need to be clear in front of you if you are ready to pay, or if you are having some sponsor to pay for it. So you need to, do you recognize the editorial board? Yeah, that is a very good journal. But when you just pay attention to the editorial board, that journal, is it really a good people, or they are really making a good journal? Means this journal is having some sense. So is the publisher a member of some recognized industry initiative? So that way also you need to check whether it belongs to some committee on publication ethics, or this, if this journal is open access, whether it is listed in DOAJ. If the journal is open access, does the publisher belongs to this OASPA? I suggest you all to go through this. Utilize your some time, because if you just utilize your some time in this place, no, your publication is will be very easy. That time, Yeah, you are going to invest good time to select the journal, but the same time it will take the good time to publish your journal, but your research will get good identification. So that is the main intention behind this topic. So is the journal hosted on INASP's journal, so where it is published? Some countries are banned, so that also need to be checked. Is the publisher a member of another trade association? He may not be using your paper for some trading. So when he is going through your research paper and he is finding some commercial aspect from it, so maybe your content is getting used by some other people. So that also you need to check. One more thing you need to consider when you are selecting the journal, that is called as a predatory publications. These are the journals, these are the publishers or the journals which charge authors a fee for publication with no intention for providing some expected services. Like in return, if you ask, like such as editorial or some peer review. Even I observed some journals know when your paper got select, the paper got select or not select, there is a mail from another third party person that we help in writing thesis or we help in writing journal papers, and then when you reply back to them they will mail you that these are our charges and we will take care of it. Or one more thing we observe, like review comments are given by journal. These are the strength, the weak point, these are the good point about your research paper, and immediately there will be a mail from a third party that we observe that you are working on some research and we are having very good person who will take care of portraying your content good, for a selection of journal. So they are having some tie-up, so check whether this model is not connected with your journal or not. So this is a different scenario, but when I'm talking about predatory publishing, so the charging a fee is a, the publisher should take care for a good publishing in a publishing service in written. Yeah. So what if I want to, I submitted a paper to a journal, but later on I want to withdraw my article. So can I do that? So in journal, that publisher should give me such type of facility also. Okay, I published my content, but later on I realized that this my paper can be uh, submitted to another journal. I don't want to continue with the journal. So you need to check that. So this also need to be checked when you are submitting the paper. That do happens. So the concept of predatory journal has many naming convention, like fake journals are there, some questionable journals are there. So there are many journals which do not have some best editorial or technical standard, but which are applying some basic process, and they will ask you some money to pay. And I will show you one good story when I catch up with such type of journal. My paper, I just told you that my research was a combination of management plus technology, and I targeted a very good journal, and I wrote very good manuscript and I submitted to them. Within 3 4 days, the publisher sent me a very nice mail that your paper is very good and we are forwarding. And after 1 week or 15 days time, there was a insulting mail to me that this is not correct and it was titled by some reviewer. And then I searched for the reviewer name, no such person were existing. And then there was a mail by this journal only that we observed that your paper got deselected. It was not selected by our reviewer, but we have another journal. So then they listed out, and when I crawl that particular links, there were number of links, and hence it was like a sort of, they made me crazy, like what I'm doing. So it was like this. These things are also happening when you are crawling the web links for searching the good journals. So these are the things which you can find. Now there is a question, like when you are selecting a journal, there is a given title given like a peer review. Everyone now get the mails like you are a very, your publication is available. Do you want to publish the same content? Our journal is open for you. So there are some people who review, and the reviewers are also playing a major role for selecting your paper. So how this review process is happening actually, there are so many contents I have written, but I will focus on type of peer review. The first is single blind peer review, like you are author and reviewer don't know who you are. Your paper is given to them and they don't aware who is the author, and hence they based on your total content of your research paper they will select or they will not select, but only one reviewer is there. sorry, not one reviewer, but whoever reviewers are there, they will not have the identity of authors. The another type of review is a double blind peer review. When in that case, the journal editor does not reveal the reviewer's credential, and even the authors also, and both the way. So both the parties are unaware of their identities, and hence uh, the work which is done by any author or which is reviewed by someone, everything is not disclosed, and hence this is really good because you don't know who is commenting on your research. So they may have their own perspective, and as a result, you may get some good suggestions. To be more frank, if your research is understood by your family members, no, they are the really good blind review people. They will say your research is very good. Means when I was telling my research to my family members, they will say, "Ah, you are doing very good work, but what you are doing, we don't know." So don't try to select such type of reviewers. You should have a good reviewers like your um, they can really criticize your work, and that criticism will help you to write good. Even not writing journal is not, it should not be aimed, doing work is your aim, but what you're doing should be aware to complete world, and how the content is portrayed, that is mandatory. So reviewer plays a major role in constructing the data and arranging the data. Sometimes you write very good paper, but it is not properly organized. uh, my guide gave me one suggestion that there should be a story in your research paper. So it means there should be a flow in your research paper. And if there is a flow, reviewer will definitely give you green signal for selection. There is a third type of peer review. That is an open peer review. Means everything is open. The author, reviewers both know each other, and still openly they allow you to understand, and they will comment you, they will respond back to you. There are number of series of revisions are there, so they suggest you, they guide you, they mentor you, everything is possible. And last is nothing but collaborative peer review, so where it is a platform given by journal where the authors and reviewers can come discuss, and then they can concile from no, they can work with some more publications. That is also possibly a review process. Next type of review is a third party peer review. The author gets a manuscript by some independent preview review service, and so there are two ways. This third party peer review you can also do for your own research paper, or when you are submitting that journal will check, and hence the charges are there by the journal. So this is a third party, and then third party may apply some AI based concept or some their own expertise to check whether your content is really worthwhile to go ahead of it. As I told you, some of the journals ask you to give the licensing. Like even though your paper is accepted, after that publication also there should be some relation need to be carried out. So that is a post publication peer review. So it is not so that your paper is published and your journal is there. Again, they will be in a communication like, okay, this work is over, your paper is available, but still this is the things which is available. So extra comments will be given. Somebody access your work and they enhance your work, some future work which you mentioned in your journal, and it was used by some people, they implemented it, and hence they will trace back. So that also feedback given to you by your journal, and hence that is also worthwhile. You will come to know, like how I come to know that my conference paper got accepted and it was utilized by someone in their patent. So it is because someone mailed me that thank you for your content, and I was surprised. That time I understood, okay, my work that utilized by someone else. There is a one more type of review, that is a cascading review, that a journal A reject, so author submit that to the journal B. Sir also mentioned that ki same reviewer is present. So they may said, अरे इधर तुझे अभी reject किया था, अभी तू वापस इधर submit कर रहा है. So there may be chances that the same reviewer may again give you the comment. So be stick that whenever you select any journal, check that there is no connection between one journal, and I will suggest you that select your journal in such a way that there should not be, you will not think for another journal only. So I have listed out some of the journals like here, like elsewhere is there, where it was almost in elsewhere you will find 2600 journals are available. But here every journal will have charges, like APC charges are there. Even for some of the low poverty region, they do have charges, which is comparatively huge for us. Okay. Then DOAG is one of the journal where you will have the 11,000 high quality journals are available, and you will find when you are searching on DOAG, it will be searched by ISSN number or subject, or you can even search based on your license or some publisher or some metadata or some date or DOI author. And over most of the 70% of journals are listed in DOAG. It is observed that DOAG do not charge any APC, but some of the journal who are affiliated with DOAG, they may charge. So that is the connection. Willy is one of the journal. So Willy is a open. Most of the books are published by Willy, and they offer some authors or readers or institutions and society. And here you can access their journal centrally. Also, it is the fastest publication, efficient publication. I have a very good feedback with them, and they really, when it is not so that you published your research work, means I'm talking about the book. So it is not so that they will just publish your research work, but they will audit it. Even some place they will help you for your English also. Like, so that way also, and they will have a good peer review for your work. So it is not so that you submitted it got selected. So there are some, they have their own metrics to for selection and for organization also. So it is a good journal, like a good repository. Oxford itself is a hybrid one for most of the majority of the journal, and then you can search for OUP. This is a repository for Oxford University Press. Springer, yeah, good enough. Like same as that of IEEE transaction, is open access, and majority of the titles are like they are acceptable here. They have the high visibility and greater impact factor. Okay. IEEE, yeah, this is a great, this is a full gold, full open access journals are available, and a good range of reviewers are available, and hence you have carry the, good visibility if your paper gets selected in IEEE. Taylor and Francis, yeah, this is also one of the full open access journal. It will have different disciplines and different subject area, and Dow Press specialize the publication of open access, and they do have some peer reviewed journals across the spectrum of science and technology, and specifically for the medicine. If you need some more information or some more site, these are the link which I have added. I will share this website, and these are hyperlinked. So if you click on this, you will find the journals are open for you, and that will help you out to search your own idea. This research, these links are not specifically for engineering people, those who are doing their research in engineering domain, but it is for all, like physics, chemistry, everywhere. So you will just have to link and then search your own domain, and then you can find it. So this is all about what is the meaning of this diagram. This is a story of all researchers. They're digging some water in, you know and where the water is not available, nothing is available, but you are trying to show that my research is like a green area. So thank you very much. I tried my best because 6:37 it is there. So I tried to squeeze my presentation because I don't want it, because from 3 o'clock you started. So it is a good, I need to congratulate you for your patience, and definitely do good in your research work. If there is any question, I'm open for the question. Hello?
Ma'am, hello, participants had a question.
Yes.
Yeah. Ma'am, can I ask one? I have one.
Yes. I like to answer.
Actually, you have pinpointed high visibility journals. So
Right.
my question is like how to identify that whether this journal is a high visibility journal. Is there any fixed rule or thumb rule something for that?
Yes. There are certain thumb rules. As I told you that see, most of the journals are, you can find their flowery, like designs are very attractive, and they will have number of logos and all. Whenever you will search, there are some content which I have not considered because I felt that is not part of my presentation, called as a H5 index, H3 index, I index. So you can check for journal with this type of indexing, which actually means that how open that journal is. Like you wrote just paper and it is available on journal doesn't end up over there. Okay, but when I'm talking about a good journal or a high visibility journal, there is a chances that you need to check the predecessor of that journal, one journal connected to the another journal. So when you are submitting your research paper in that journal, where what are the other indexing that paper is offering, आप कोई भी जर्नल पे जाओ और वहां पे ना इंडेक्सिंग करके एक टैग कंपलसरी है to all the journal website. They need to give one tab called as indexing, and below that you will come to know that कि ये journal कहाँ कहाँ पे connected है. So it is a sort of networking.
Yes,
I hope that. And first of all, I will suggest you that think for your subject area. No, my research was in management, enterprise architecture. So I just Google about enterprise architecture journal. I will tell you easiest way. Means my experience may not be applicable for you all, but just a guideline which you feel considerable. Like you just write your area and research paper. You will find in the answer like a Google scholarly articles are there. Like for your research area, some other researcher already published the paper. So when I'm writing, selecting that scholarly articles, no, some paper will be there. I'm not interested in their paper, but when I will find that list of journals are given on Google itself, like Google list, Google Scholarly करके वो link आता है पहले ही रहेगा, and it will just have a hyperlink, and then in that paper you just check which journal it is published, and just select that journal and check how that journal is having indexing and what is the APC charges are there, whether there is any licensing requirement is there, what is the peer review, and then you can target that journal. Make your list. Okay, make your list. This is a journal, this is the charges, and this much is the embroidery period, like how much time it will take to publication. And that way you can go on. This is the easiest way. Another is the mouth publicity, and then based on just मेरा journal यहाँ पे फटाक से select हो गया, and this is IJ. I cannot comment about the world called as IJ because International Journal of something is a good journal, no. But definitely this way, this is the easiest. I feel so.
yes, ma'am. Thank you. And ma'am, there's one more question about Sci-Hub you have mentioned. So it's like earlier, quite few months before, papers were easily available, but now it's like many of them are still not available. Older
Right,
ones also. So like,
right, right.
use. I mean, would you still recommend to use Sci-Hub? Oh,
See, Skyhub is like a sort of stealing, stealing
kind
the
of.
paper, and that's why, to my wonder, when I search, searching Skyhub in Google is one of the tasks.
Yes,
If you just
actually,
writing Skyhub, no, previously it was easily available that वो एक पक्षी ऐसा खड़ा रहता था, then this is a correct, and there will be a key. But nowadays, if I want to download some research paper, you should have the subscription of that
it's
journal.
saying it's saying restricted in your
Right.
country. That message is
Right,
coming,
right.
popping up
It is
in screen.
only
That's why.
because of the Sky Hub. No, these journals are losing their business, so hence they are tying. And but still, Sky Hub was trying with number of extension.
Yeah,
Skyhub.net, Skyhub.com. So many new extensions were there, and yeah, that is a problem. But I will definitely connect. I will. I cannot publicly tell you because this is going to be YouTube live later on. But yeah, there are certain websites are available similar to Skyhub, which help you to download some research paper. And one more thing I will tell you, ma'am.
yeah,
See, if my paper is good enough and it is published, and I'm not able to show that as an open access because journal is accessing for subscription, you can directly mail to that author. That author communication will really help you out to go for the networking also. That author will guide also, he will mentor also, and everything is possible. There are some good people, some name more, most of the people are good, those who are a researcher, no. If you mail id is given, no. If you
yeah.
know that वो तो abstract में भी दिखता है, I am not able to download the PDF but I can see the author name. Take that author name, Google about it, you will get his information, email ID will be given, mail to him, and request him that I am writing research in this domain and I am looking for your this paper. Can you help me out? So if he's a free and good enough, no, he will definitely answer back to you. Even I tried that in my MTech time. I was doing some image processing work that time, and I connected to that author. And to my surprise, within 1 hour, that author replied me back, and he gave me his complete code, and he suggested me this is the way I stop. You can start working from this. So such type of good people are also available. So don't just rely on SkyHub, but you can directly connect with, and it is a prestigious for them also that some person has gone through your work and they're asking this paper. And at the same time, like these authors will definitely help you out to enhance your research.
Yeah, that's so
But
good. So,
unofficially, unofficially, I will share some link if I connect with you.
yes, ma'am. Sure, sure. We are there in SBIT. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you. I was very much hesitating for this presentation before some time, because after Rathod sir's session, and because of that, most of the content I skipped or I just gone through randomly. But I feel I suggest you as a researcher, invest your good time to select a journal. It will really save your time of your research also. Because when research journal is given and you know that this is the best journal, and then according to that research journal, if you are writing your research paper, I'm not talking about your research work. Research work is different. Research work need to be done as per your guide only, or under the your instruction by your guide. But here in this case, this journal will definitely serve as one of the stepping stone for writing the good things or articulating your content. I have a very good cake, but if it is decorated properly, I will get some good customer. So, and most important thing is like when others are referring your content, your citation work will enhance. So this is what the diagram means for you are trying to dig some water where it is not available. So thank you very much. If any other question is there,
Good
or
evening,
can
madam.
I? Huh? Hello.
Good The question is, journal is chosen correct way. It can postpone PhD award by years. So, is there any mechanism to suggest proper journal from our university or UGC or AICT?
See, I have given this list. So this is one of the way you can Google. You can connect with that journal, some open access journal. The same time, I have shown one selection criteria. See, this is one open access cost finder. So yeah, this particular link is useful to find the cost of that journal. But the same time, those journal who are freely available, no, there also you can just add here, and there this is open for all categories, any even humanity, everything is added over here. So you just have to check over this particular website, and you will find list of journals are available. Now the question is, out of that 100 journal, and this is going to be misleading as well, because you may get attracted toward that journal. Oh, that's great, within 2 months it is helping me to publish, and there is a double blind review, because when you are writing in your thesis that this journal is a blind review, so it's really adding to your content, but it is really confusing also. So when you are finding the journals, no, go on indexing, go on their editorial board, check who are there in that place. Just check all the instruction written for author. Just don't understand कि copy pasted ये सारे journal पे वही content लिखा रहता है. I know that most of the journals simply copy paste the content as well, but still there are some hidden content which is written in a star or which is not clear. Expose that, blog about that journal. Most advantages about uh, to select a journal is like search blog about that journal. Okay, how good if I'm publishing in this, because UGC care list is like you will get your research done, you will get your research work completed, but it will not give you visibility. There may be chances that you are doing a good job, but you are not getting visibility, and hence the things may get hidden by the work. So that is what the main intention is. That now selecting the best journal, again it is going to be subject area wise, your organization wise, everything is open. So that way I will suggest you to dig. So this is also one of the website, and this is also you can see my screen. These are the some of the website link through which you can search for your journal, your expected journal. If I'm talking about AI also, no, I worked in neural network and fuzzy logic. So I was focusing on some journal for the neural network. So they were accepting in their reviews, the comment were the neural work is acceptable, but the fuzzy work is not acceptable. So I searched for the fuzzy. So fuzzy gave me the same answer. The work related to fuzzy is good enough, but I am not understanding about the management. Then I searched for some hybrid journal who were like, when you select any journal, no, there it is mentioned call for paper or the theme of the journal. So where they are very much clear about the subject title also. Like this is the not title specifically, but yeah, subject domain. AI with neural network fuzzy, neural network with fuzzy hybrid system. So many things are there. So it is very much clear. Check whether your domain, because you are writing some work which is in neural network, but that neural network is a basic type of neural network. Even I have seen one IEEE journal, they were focusing on RNN only, recurrent neural network. They said my paper was neural network, but they are not accepting because their theme were restricted to the RNN neural network. They are such a way stagnant. No, nahi, मुझे बाकी के papers चाहिए ही नहीं. So such type of journals are also available. So try to search indexing, editorial board, APC that it charges how many they are charging, and the subject area which they are, and how the journal is conducted connected with other journals. Normally we
Madam,
go for the science. Yes, sir.
I want to ask one more question only.
Yes.
Some many journals are not charging any processing charges to authors,
Hmm.
but a review of those such article can take
Hmm.
much more time, one time,
Yes,
two
sir.
time.
Yes,
Then
sir.
how to build the patience during that time? What to be patient? Is it
Sir,
practically or some tips on that situation?
definitely, sir. Definitely. Research work is like God's seva. I can say that God, ऐसा इतना जल्दी तो God blessings देता नहीं है. The same way, the reviewers are playing a major role. Rathod sir gave the clear cut idea, and he was one of my mentors in during my research work. But what I will suggest you when I'm submitting, I will tell you if I submit, I targeted one journal. For that journal, I didn't connect it with that editorial board that I am writing journal for. I am writing paper for your journal. No, I understood how what are the things are required. I wrote one paper and I submitted. Okay, that is very easy. Journal first mail from them. Thank you for submitting your research paper. We are reviewing it. That it may take 15 one days. A good journal है तो वो reply करेगा. Our first review हो गया है and this is acceptable and we are forwarding that to the second journal. Wait, then wait. It means you crossed first step and the second steps are waiting for you. There may be chances that, and be ready, just consider that whatever insulting they are doing, so simply ignore that insulting word, but whatever suggestion they gave, that you try to incorporate in your research work. They may comment your English is not good. You are a very good speaker, you are a very good writer, but still for them your English is not good. They may say that the flow of your research work is not good enough. It's okay, still you ignore that. But if they comment you that this process cannot be worked in this manner, focus. When they
Okay.
comment you that this particular work is need to be handled by this direct, there are certain reviewers who give such type of review, you know. But if they just say that ki, this is a misleading topic which you have selected, simply ignore. But if he's saying that this combination is very good, you need to cultivate, but it is not matching to my journal, then that is admirable. And all the reviews which is given by the reviewer, consider it is a blessings for you. Because anyway, one person open your research paper, who is the first reader for your research paper, where you don't know what research you are doing, but he's trying to understand what you wrote. He may not understand, but definitely he will comment, yeah, कि अरे ये इधर नहीं चल रहा है, ये इसे नहीं चल रहा है. Okay, try to understand that weak points. Okay, some place, and be ready, because doing PhD or doing research is like getting insulted with free of cost. Okay, the people are there to criticize you, but it is you who will build yourself. So in that case, if the journal is taking more time, but if the journal is good, then wait. But if the journal is not good, don't submit the same paper to another journal, because I shown you the cascading peer review is also possible. So one paper, one journal. Again, understand where you failed, or when you are thinking, like after submitting that paper, when you are thinking and you are targeting another journal, what change I can do in my journal paper. I know that every time you will not get new ideas, but your own idea will give you new idea. I think Kalwande sir knows, because he is my mentor, my guru, and almost we submitted 87 journal paper, and I was full fledged on leave for 6 months, and I used to sit in front of him, and he used to say, "Right, every new journal, new paper." I didn't repeat any journal and any paper to the another journal. No, every time means the flow. 30% content were same, but the remaining 70%, and it really helped me to come out with my research, and I understood what I'm doing. Their comment, their feedback, their time taken, and when I lost, saying that no, my paper is not getting published, and there was a grace, like I got a mail in my mailbox, your paper got accepted, and that too by P1 journal. And it was like, oh my god, how this happened, because what content I wrote in was totally different which I thought of, and I was practically working on that work, and I wrote that paper. It was fantabulous experience. Maybe it was criticizing, it is hurting you, it is feeling like, yeah, but still now I'm very happy, and my guide is also happy for work. So that is also one of the way I will suggest you. Keep patience level. Sai Baba bolte hain na, Shraddha aur Saburi.
Yes.
Keep that Shraddha and Saburi doing the research work. Don't miss that journal. But if that paper is getting rejected by that journal, try to rework and submit that rework to another journal. Don't try to connect with the same journal. Then.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you. Any other question? So, Haldankar sir.
Uh, yes, ma'am. Any
Yes.
questions, participants? Thank you, ma'am. Your session was really brainstorming and it will
Thank
be
you.
useful for us. Thank you,
Yes,
all the
that's why
participants. It will be
this I will suggest you this workshop. You just go through each and every session very nice, very from heart only. Try to listen each and every word which is given by every speaker. All speakers are good. They are sharing their own perspective. They are guiding you, and like a small baby, you accept that they're whatever they're telling. Because not all will be useful, but somewhere some other round it will be useful for you. And best of luck. This is a good journey.
Thank you.
thank you,
Thank
ma'am.
you. So tomorrow, I think Sawan sir's and session is there and Karandikar sir's session is there. So can anyone handle? Is anyone interested? Otherwise, I will handle the session.